Hello and welcome into Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. We are going to be looking at the game between Tottenham and Barcelona coming up in the Champions League. Game week 2 is here and believe me, we need a win. That's right, our October kicks off with an away trip to Tottenham and it is the start of a very difficult month and what I feel is a decisive month already in this season. We've got to come into this month with a good attitude, we've got to try and put the end of September well and truly behind us. We need to get back on track, we expect better, no doubt about that, and it all starts here at Wembley Stadium against Tottenham. Mistakes cannot be made, we have to get it right on the night, and believe me, the pressure is on Valverde. And it's not just me saying that either. The man who came out after the game against Athletic, which was our third game without a win in La Liga, our points that have gone out the window in current games, Lionel Messi of all people came out after the game and he said himself, we must do more and we expect better of ourselves, of the team. We have to do more on the field and we will get results. Messi was defiant. He was absolutely ready to go out there, I'm sure, at Wembley Stadium where he's had success in the past. This is the game to do it. This is the game to bounce back. But to do that, we have to see a good team selection. That is what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be going through Barcelona's side of the story. We're also going to be looking at Tottenham's team, where the threats are coming from, where are the areas that we can target. We are going to be looking at all that and more. It is time to do it. But first, guys, let me run you through, of course, the previous games in this Champions League Group B as it stands right now. Barcelona at the top with that emphatic win over PSV. That seems like a long time ago now, but it really wasn't. Inter Milan beat Tottenham in that first game week. Despite going behind in that game, Tottenham at San Siro gave away that lead and gave away the points, and they're currently in the position of third and they're needing something here. The pressure is on them too. They're currently fourth in the Premier League. They won at the weekend away at Huddersfield. It's starting to come together now for Spurs, but as we're going to come on to, they have got some serious concerns in their team for Mauricio Pochettino. They've got a lot of injuries and that could really help us because right now, we need all the help we can get. But on to ourselves, guys. Like I say, this game is an absolute must-win. If you were coming into this game on good form, if you were coming into it, with a good run behind us, we're still top of La Liga somehow. No idea how that's happened. But right now, we are still top of the league. But this is a must-win game. We haven't won in 3 games, like I say. We're coming into this needing a boost. Like I say, we've got some really tough games coming up in October. We need to start the momentum now. We need that bit of confidence back, that bit of flair back, and a bit of belief, really, that we can go out there and get a result. And what is a hard stadium to go to? Wembley is never an easy place to go, no matter even if it's not Tottenham's home stadium. It's still their adopted home now for just over a year. Tottenham are a good side. Pochettino's teams play well. It will be a tough game, but we've got to win. We've got to go there and we have to win this game. So first of all, guys, as always, let me run you through the squad list that Ernesto Valverde has chosen, and even in this, there is a little bit of debate. Ter Stegen, Semedo, Piqué, Rakitic, Busquets, Denis, Coutinho, Arthur, Suarez, Messi, Dembele, Rafinha, Citizen, Longley, Alba, Munir, Vidal, Vermaelen, Miranda is there, and also a third goalkeeper, Iñaki Peña, the young man coming in there to be the third keeper. And what you will notice already from that is number 1, Valverde taking 3 goalkeepers to London, but number 2, no Malcolm once again. For whatever reason, Valverde has already decided he doesn't want to call on Malcolm. There is no reoccurrence of the injury. It is not an injury problem. Malcolm has been left out of this squad once again, just like he was against Athletic, for no reason at all. I don't understand it. I'm not really sure why we're doing that to a new signing. What kind of confidence is that going to give him? And then you throw in somebody like Miranda, somebody who wasn't counted on against Girona. He wasn't counted on against Leganes. He wasn't counted on against Athletic. He wasn't even in the squad, yet now in a massive Champions League game away from home, where traditionally we don't do well in the Champions League under many managers, and we are putting in a guy there with not much experience and throwing him into the deep end. I don't really understand a lot of the decisions that Valverde has made, and I think this squad list here, there's a few questionable ones in there too. And according to Sport, Ernesto Valverde will be lining up in a 4-4-2 formation for that trip to Wembley, and I have to say that does not not come as a complete surprise to me. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Ernesto Valverde revert to type, say, look, the attacking football that I'm trying, it isn't working. I'm going back to rigid, solid formation. And that's why I think this kind of team is what he's going to do against Tottenham. I think Ter Stegen in goal, Alba, Longley, of course, Umtiti is suspended and also injured right now. Piqué, Semedo has to come in because Roberto is injured. Otherwise, I think he wouldn't be there. I think Roberto would play there 9 out of 10 times. Semedo not really in Valverde's favour. I think Coutinho from the left, Sergio Busquets, possibly Arturo Vidal alongside him, and then you sort of play Rakitic in this wider role just to make it even more compact and even more rigid. Suarez and Messi up top, he'll be hoping that a bit of individual magic from them can get us a goal or two, and it's going to be that kind of game. I think Valverde here is really going to batten down the hatches. He's really going to go conservative. He doesn't want to get beat. I think he would take a draw at Tottenham, and I think this kind of team is exactly what he wants to achieve with that. These guys are going to be very, very narrow. It's going to be really compact. At times, we are going to sit deep. We're going to soak up the pressure from Tottenham. Perhaps you'll invite Semedo and Alba to bomb on, but I wouldn't expect that an awful lot. And like I say, it will be on Messi to come in here and Suarez to provide the magic. Some individual quality, maybe from Coutinho off this left-hand side to get us a goal, and then we'll sit on it, protect it, and defend it. Valverde right now, I think, has gone back into his shell. He's retreated, and he will be hoping to somehow get a win here by the skin of his teeth. And now, guys, I will show you the team that I would personally choose at Wembley against Tottenham. I'd go with exactly the same back four, the same setup there. But I think, personally, stick with your principles. There's no good all the time chopping and changing. When things go your way as a coach, you don't just change back to type. You don't just revert and go back to what you were doing before. You find a way. You find a resolution to your problems. And I think it all stems around that midfield. 4-3-3 and attacking football and fluid football, that is not the issue here. We've seen that work at Barcelona for many, many, many years, as long as you can remember. That's not the problem. The problem is midfield. Controlling that play, having players in there who are comfortable on the ball, who can be pressed and resist it, and that is what it's all about. You've got Busquets in here, and I think start Arthur Melo. He is somebody in that midfield who is comfortable on the ball. He is somebody in that midfield who can be pressed and can get around it. He will take risks. He can play the safe option, and he's also a pretty defensive player as well. He can do that kind of role. And then Arturo Vidal instead of Ivan Rakitic, and that for me is what needs to be done. Vidal against Athletic played very, very well. He also is good defensively. It's not that he can't defend, but he's also good on the ball. He will play a forward pass. He will take a risk, and that in a Barcelona midfield is what it's all about. What Vidal will also give you here, alongside somebody like Arthur, is massive, massive experience. If he needs help getting through that game, Vidal can help him. He's got the mentality there. He's got the attitude. He will help his teammates. He will give his all. He will work hard. And at Wembley Stadium, you are going to need somebody like that in your midfield. And that there doesn't look like a weakness. You don't look like you're going to play through that midfield easily. That looks like a midfield there that can certainly get the job done. But what you've also got then is the threat up front. You have 3 players here who can do Tottenham some serious, serious damage. Because if you don't give them enough threats, they're going to come on to you. And they have got players in their team, as we're going to come on to now, who can really hurt you on the break, and they got some pace there. That is going to be a massive, massive issue for us, and we've got to counter that with a threat of our own. That comes from Dembele from the left, Messi from the right, coming central, and Suarez in the middle. 3 players there who can score, who can be destructive, and who can get the game won when we really need it. And now it is time to talk about Tottenham, because like I say, they will give a threat. They are a good team, they're well coached, but they do have right now significant injury problems, and that is why I'm not really sure how they're going to line up. I think Hugo Lloris will be able to return. He returned to training today. They'll be doing everything to get him back on the pitch. You've got Alderweireld, you've got Davinson Sanchez, 2 very good centre-backs. They actually played 5 at the back of the weekend against Huddersfield, which did work for them. They won 2-0 in that game. Danny Rose at left-back. Kieran Trippier there, I think, is a really good right-back going forward and defensively. He's somebody who can cause you problems in the final third, especially with his passing. He will pick out Kane, as he has done many, many times in the past. I think they're actually going to be quite structured in this midfield. I think they're going to be quite maybe withdrawn in phases. We got Eric Dyer here, Wan Wanyama, Dembele, 3 players there who have a bit of defensive instincts. They are somebody who are going to sit back. But that's simply because Tottenham haven't really got a lot of options in that midfield right now. Christian Eriksen missed training today and is a doubt for tomorrow's game. That would be massive. Eriksen in this team is a colossal player for Tottenham. He pulls the strings in that midfield and they don't really function without his work there. And also, Dele Alli will not be playing in this game. He will not be ready for it. So like I say, in midfield, Tottenham right now are really, really thin. And that's why I think it's all the more important that we have a good midfield. That our midfield can play around these 3, because these 3 aren't exactly fantastic footballers. I think Dembele with the ball at his feet is very, very good. But Eric Dyer, if you press him and Wanyama as well, they're going to be in trouble. We've got to get around that midfield. That is where the game will be won and lost. But in the final third, just like our 3, Tottenham have the threat. Son, Lucas, Kane, you know what Kane can do in the final third. Give him a chance, he will put it away. And Son and Lucas can trouble us with their pace. That's why we need Semedo. That's why we need Jordi Alba. They need to be constantly looking over their shoulder, aware of what's around them, because those players can certainly cause a threat. But like I say, we've got to be bold. We've got to stand up with Barcelona, go out there with a threat of our own, with a strong midfield, with a defence there that needs to defend, that needs to concentrate at all times. We cannot let anything slip. We've got to win this game, and it all comes down to this. And in terms of my match prediction, guys, I'm getting sick and tired already of being negative, so I'm going to go with Barcelona 2, Tottenham 0. If we approach this game in the right way, if we try and play, if we try and be bold and try and get some confidence back, we can win this game. But it's down to Valverde. What kind of coach is he? What kind of approach is he going to adopt here? He needs to do something which is going to get us a result. Let's see if he can do it, because like I say, the pressure is on. Will he rise to the occasion, or will he fall, and in doing that, take us down with him? Leave your thoughts down below, guys. Leave your predictions. I will see you tomorrow for what is a massive, massive game. But until then, as always, Vasca el Barça.